I can't even watch Game of Thrones anymore. Like literally, it is so stressful. So you guys are watching this Tuesday morning. Right now for me, it's Monday morning. So I just woke up and I'm like thinking about this. I was originally really insulted that they are making us wait 2 years for 8 episodes. Now I'm like, you know what? I can't even handle a 9th. Like y'all are doing it. I am stressed the F out. If you guys agree with me that this is the most stressful season of Game of Thrones ever, please leave me a dragon emoji down below. Okay, but that's not what this video is about. So what's up you guys? Welcome back. My name is Jess. If you're new, be sure to smash that subscribe button before you go. Today's video is gonna be intense. I know I say it in every video. I just literally need to put that at the bottom of the screen, like intense video warning, but literally this is gonna be intense. And it's also gonna be a little difficult for me to share with you guys back to these times. And I've actually detoxed in jail 5 times. And I started to think about it and I actually started to be like ashamed of myself because of that. And I started thinking and I just realized, you know what? F that. I'm not ashamed that I struggled with this for so long, and I don't want you guys to feel shame either. And I know if I was feeling shame thinking back to my past and thinking about how hard it was for me, I know you guys, if you're in addiction or you struggle with addiction, you have felt the same way. And I'm just sitting here living proof that sobriety is possible. So I don't care how long you struggle. I don't care how hard it was for you. I know that you can get clean. Please don't feel ashamed. Only reason I'm alive today is because I decided that I was going to be done and I was going to get back up again and again and again and again. So please don't stop fighting. All right, moving on before I start crying. So I've detoxed in jail 5 times. Now I've done this in a few different states. I'm gonna walk you through the first time all the way down to the other times. So the first time was really intense for me. The first time I didn't think it was gonna be that bad because I hadn't spent a day without H and I really just thought I was gonna be okay. And I remember getting arrested and just doing a violation, a parole violation, and just thinking like, I'm fine. It's not even gonna be that bad. I'm strong, I know who I am. They keep you in a green room. So that literally just looks like here's the pod, right? And they have this like green room. It's glass, I don't know why they call it green room. Maybe because it's like the shape of a green room or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's like glass and there's 4 cells in there. And every 15 minutes in this facility, an officer has to go by and beep these little things throughout the pod. So there's like a little ID thing and you have to hit your card on it just to make sure the officers are checking, right? And they keep all of the new intakes in this green room for 3 days. The green room is inside the pod. I don't know if I said that, but it is. And you have your little TB shot, and between 3 and 4 days, the nurse will come in and say, okay, you don't have tuberculosis, you can go into general population. Well, this time I walked in with my hamper and my whites. This facility gave us bra, underwear, panties, socks, a hat, a coat, everything, right? Because we were in the north and we were north of the wall. So this facility gave you all your whites, your laundry bag, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste. And I walk in, immediately I recognize people. There was this one girl in particular that she would just go to jail during the winter because she was on and off homeless. So like I recognized her, I knew her from school, that was my homegirl. And I kind of just do one of these like, they got me, what's up? And I go to my cell and I try to go to sleep. And I think it had taken them like 5 or 6 hours just to put me back there. So I'm already starting to feel it, but it's not that bad yet, right? So I'm like, oh, I can handle it. Let me just try to lay down. And before I knew it, restless leg syndrome kicked in and I can't even relax. I can't do anything. I am literally on the verge of withdrawal. The next morning, I am throwing up, I am pooping, sometimes at the same time. It's really bad. And now in the morning, I have to go out to the general population area and get my food tray, get my breakfast tray, and come back through. And I'm walking back through with my tray and this older lady said, "You gonna drink your coffee?" And at that time I really didn't drink coffee like that. So I threw it at her, like not threw it at her, but kind of threw it down on the table. And she's like, "Oh, good looking out." I'm just like, oh, whatever. Like I don't even want to talk to you, right? I just want to go back, try to eat this and go back to sleep if I can get some sleep. I am so sick, you guys. I am pouring in sweat and trust me, it was not hot in there. I was pouring in sweat and I was just achy. My whole body hurt. So like I remember just walking my tray back when I was done to that little like general population dining area. I remember going back up with my tray and just feeling like my bones were gonna break just walking back up there. Now I go back to my cell, I throw up, and I'm constantly splashing water on my face. I'm trying to get comfortable. My legs won't allow that. Like, my legs are hurting. It feels like my bones are breaking. Like, it hurts so bad. And I think the restless leg syndrome was literally like the worst thing. So I have a fever. Imagine you have the flu. Now it's like times 10. So the flu times 10 plus you broke a bone and you're literally trapped in the cell. No one cares. No one's gonna help you. This facility did not give me any kind of medication. They didn't even ask me if I was detoxing at all. Now, my homegirl had asked the pod officer. Now, in this facility, the guards had a guard desk inside the unit and they were always there. So my homegirl goes up to the officer and said, hey, can I clean the green room? Because she wants to get in there. They're locked doors. I can't get out. She can't get in. They're locked doors, and then I have my locked cell. So she's like, hey, can I clean the green room? And she goes in there and she's like Windexing the windows and everything. And she comes up to my door and she slides me ibuprofen under the door. And I thought, oh my God, thank you. So I took the ibuprofen, or maybe it was Tylenol. Whatever you can buy on the commissary is what she gave me. I just was so grateful for that. It didn't touch it at all. I still felt horrible. And 2 days went by and it was the weekend and the nurse was not gonna be there until Monday morning. So I still had to be in this green room in my cell. I can't go out in the general population, but honestly, I don't even care, because as soon as I hit general population, the first thing I'm gonna do is see if anyone has anything. Literally. Anyone got any stuff? Anyone tugging meds? Anyone doing this? Anyone doing that? It's just so I could feel better. So my mind was kind of obsessing over that, like, must get out, must see if anyone has anything, right? And it was just a really horrible feeling. So I get out finally after 4 days. I am still in so much pain and I'm talking to people, seeing if anyone has anything. No one has a single thing, or at least that's what they're telling me. They don't have anything. Well, that girl that I threw coffee to, she was like, yo, come here. And I'm like, oh, do you have something? Like, please let me know you have something. And she said that she would try to get me something. Now at this point, I'm like, you're gonna try to get, I don't even wanna talk to you now. Like, you're gonna try to get me something? Like, bye. If you don't have anything, I don't wanna talk to you, because my mind was just so focused on that, you guys. Like, my mind was literally like, get this to stop pain, get this to stop pain. I didn't even wanna talk to anyone. So my attitude with her probably like made that not happen. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, you don't have anything now. Like, I was crappy. I was really crappy. My addiction ran my life and I was just not hearing this. I'm gonna try to do this, whatever. So if she ever did get something, I didn't know about it because I was really mean to her. And after a few weeks, I started to feel better, but I was so uncomfortable in my own skin. Like, I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to interact with anyone, not even my homegirl that was there. I just felt so out of place. And I think I had to stay there for 6 months, and I was just so, no, I'm sorry, that was 90 days. I had to stay there for 90 days, and after that 90 days, I still did not feel good. I felt horrible. I just, you'd think like 90 days of getting clean, I'm gonna start my life, fresh start, blah, blah, blah. No, I had someone pick me up, and they picked me up with a 40 and a pack of Newports, and I just went right back to it after 90 days. I never had like even a tiny idea of stopping. I never even thought that's what I was gonna do. I never said, why don't you get your shit together? Like, why don't you stop using? Didn't even cross my mind, right? So I go back out, I use, I deal, I was living my life. I was being a horrible person, you know? I really was really evil, you guys. And I know you look at me now and you can't see that, but I really was. I didn't care about anyone else. I cared about making money and using, and that's all I cared about. That's all my life consisted of. I didn't have anything else in my life except for my boyfriend, who was also using. That's all I cared about. Money, using, boyfriend. That's it, right? That's all I had in my life. So anyway, I violated again and had to go back a second time. Now, this was a 6-month thing, and my ex actually called the cops, or called parole, because he wanted to parole to a specific house. Parole denied his claim, and so he said, approve my address and I'll give you Jessica. And that was a deal that they made. So I was on the run and I decided I'm gonna go back to my hometown, stupid, and visit my family, make a couple of deals, and roll out. I don't know why I did that, but I showed up and my adrenaline was just pumping. I was there for probably 3 or 4 days. Now my ex kept calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me, and I was like, I'm not gonna come see you. Like, I know what it is. I know it's a hookup. I'm not gonna come see you, click, right? and he kept doing it. Well, I was with another friend of mine and he told me, why are you even answering the phone for him? Do not go near him. This is dangerous. You want to go back to jail, like blah, blah, blah. He said the whole thing out, right? He's like, this is a setup, this is a setup, this is a setup. And I just thought, you know what? I'll spend one more night with him and then I'll leave town again. Well, my ex and I just had this thing about us, like we just couldn't even say no to each other. We also had a very toxic relationship, and I spent that night with him and I just woke up thinking like maybe we could fix this, right? Like I loved him, I wanted to be with him, maybe we can get it right this time. And he told me all these things about jail and maybe I should go back to jail when they finally do catch me and think about changing my life. Like he was giving me these little hints that he was gonna turn me in, but I was completely ignoring him. Like, who cares? Like, I'm not going to jail. I'm not gonna get caught. I like legit thought I could be on the run forever. Like, no, you can't. They will catch you, I promise. So I go back to my place that I also shared with my sister, and I walk in, I lock the door, and I decide to use, and my phone rings. And I don't pick it up because I'm busy using, and it's my ex apologizing to me. And I thought, what? This is the weirdest message ever. Like, it was like, I'm really sorry. I hope you know that I had to do what I had to do. And then he hung up. And then the phone went to ring again and it was restricted. And I thought, like, what? I'm not answering this. And it went to voicemail. I'm sorry. It went to the answering machine because this is really old. There was no voicemail. This is an answering machine. This is a landline phone. I know y'all kids don't know what that is, but answering machine. So it goes to the answering machine and I thought, that's weird. They called back again, restricted. And I'm like, right? I'm not gonna answer because I'm just not. Then all of a sudden, I see through the window, like in our apartment, I saw someone walk out to our backyard. So out of nowhere, people are banging on the front door, a side window, and the back door. And I'm like, it's parole, right? So I grab my stuff and I grab my phone, my cell phone, which was a Sidekick, okay? So, or maybe a razor phone, I don't know. So I grab all my stuff. I had this box of stuff that I was using, okay? You guys are just gonna have to fill in the blanks here. I grab all that stuff, I run to the bathroom, I close the bathroom door, I lock the door. Now they're banging on the door on the opposite side of the house and I'm just like, ugh, right? So I'm trying to get cell service. I know this is the struggle and like kids don't know. There's no service in the bathroom, okay? So I'm trying to get service. I'm trying to call people. I can't get a SIG on my beeper. Just kidding. It wasn't a beeper. But I was like freaking out, you know what I mean? So I'm like, is there any way I can get out of this? Is there any way I can get out of this? I stayed in there for 2 or 3 hours and I started putting wax bags in my pants. So what I would do is I would cut a slit in my pants, like right behind like the button and the zipper, right behind there, and there's like this little thing in jeans, right? I would slip wax bags in there. I was doing that because if they're taking me to jail, I'm gonna taper myself on my own terms. That was my thought process. So after about 2.5 hours, they're gone. They're gone, which means they're up the road in a car waiting for me to come out. Well, my sister comes home and I have really good hearing, okay? Really good. She comes in, I know she doesn't shut the door all the way, and I've like opened the door of the bathroom and I go, Janet, she didn't hear me. She sees that cop, that undercover car, which is, or parole, she sees them and she like goes through the apartment so fast. She's like looking for me and I'm like, Janet. She didn't hear me. She walks right past me. The bathroom is at this little hallway and our bedroom and kitchen was back the other way. And she comes back through so fast and I can't yell because I know they're gonna come up on the porch. And I'm like, Janet. She doesn't see me, she doesn't hear me, nothing. She goes to the front door, parole's at that door, and they're like, we need to come in and search the place for Jessica. And she's like, go ahead, she's not here. And I thought, oh my God, what did you do? Like, what did you just do? And I felt bad for like yelling at her because she genuinely did not think I was there. And I know she would have covered for me if she could. Like if there was any way out of that, she would have protected me from that. So I come out of the bathroom because they have guns drawn. I'm not trying to get shot. I'm not trying to hide. I'm not trying to run. They're coming in. So I'm like, I'm here. And I put my hands up and they grab me. The look on my sister's face was just, she was so heartbroken and so shocked and so upset. Like she just thinks she put me in jail and she thinks it's her fault and I felt so bad. So they grab me, they throw me on the ground, they put me in cuffs, they pick me back up and they're like, I've waited here for 3 hours for you. Like, yeah, right? I'm like, don't you mean 8 months and 3 hours? And my parole officer is even more mad now that I'm talking crap, right? Because I'm like, don't you mean 8 months and 3 hours? Like I was so crappy, you guys, but this is just who I was. So anyway, they take me out and they don't search the place, like thank the stars, because my mindset was don't get shot, and also don't let them find that stash of stuff that you have, because I don't want her to get in trouble, my sister to get in trouble, and I don't want new charges. I just want a violation. Thankfully, that strategy did win. So they took me out and it was just a violation. This time they gave me a 6-month violation. But when I was coming back through intake, this is illegal, do not do this. You will get put under the jail if you do this. These charges are crazy. I'm not glorifying it. I'm not saying this is how you should do it. I'm saying I was wrong and this was a horrible idea, okay? So I never want you guys to hear these stories and think like, oh wow, I should try that. Don't, okay? Don't. This is a huge mistake and I could have gotten put under the jail, okay? They take this very seriously. So anyway, I am put in intake. The cops patted me down, searched me, emptied my pockets, everything. And they didn't find the wax bags because they didn't take my pants off, right? And I know that, I've been through this a few times already. So this facility had a little shower place area, and I knew the intake officer. She was a really nice girl who no longer works there, and I can't tell you who or where or why or whatever because I don't want to get anyone in trouble. This was also 12 years ago, so I think statute of limitations, like I think we good, okay? Moving on. In the holding tank, I took the wax bags out of my pants and put them in my mouth. Now she's trying to talk to me and kind of make small talk, and I'm like, oh, yes. Like I can't talk to you like with my mouth open because I have bags in my mouth. And I go to turn around, I'm taking a shower, and I said some kind of inappropriate things to make her uncomfortable. Now, this is like social engineering at its best, right? Make the other person feel uncomfortable so that you can get your way. And that was my mentality. I was manipulative. I was horrible. I made her feel uncomfortable because I was naked, showering in front of her, which is just an awkward thing. Like, I promise you, no guard wants to see you naked. They don't want to do the whole cough and squat thing. It's weird for everyone, okay? So they're doing that. She's doing that. And their little jumpsuit that I had to put on was like next to me, and I'm going to dry off. I can't even talk today. I'm going to dry off and I'm trying to do whatever. Well, I pick up the jumpsuit and it was just a very smooth thing. I said something really inappropriate and I went and took the wax bags out of my mouth and put it in the jumpsuit. She looked away for maybe 2 seconds, right? But it was long enough. And I'm putting on the jumpsuit so carefully. Now I'm like, please don't fall out, please don't fall out. Because if I like tip the jumpsuit and it falls out, new charge. That's a free world charge. Like, oh my God, right? Very, very bad idea. So I'm putting it on so carefully and I'm like, do you like my body? And I'm being so inappropriate, you guys, because I can't let this fall out. And like, I was so weird, right? But I knew what I had to do because my addiction controlled my life and it didn't give me the luxury of making good choices. So I was able to get that in my pocket and bring it back with me. I tapered a little bit, but then it was just hell. Same thing, achy bodies. My bones were breaking. I felt horrible. I was pooping. I was throwing up. It was just really, really bad. This time was 10 times worse than the last time because my addiction had a deeper hold on me. So I thought I was dying the first time. The second time, 10 times worse. And even though I had something to kind of help me taper, my addiction didn't give me the luxury of tapering anything. So it was just really bad. It was a nightmare. And I can't even believe that the day after I got out of jail, I had already scored again. You would think like, oh my God, like you just detoxed, you have 6 months clean. What are you doing, right? Like if I could tell my younger self anything, it would be, stop. Like I was so ignorant. I didn't think I had a problem. I thought I was fine. I thought those people over there have a problem. Like someone should go help them. I literally thought that. I thought I was fine. I thought I had it under control. I thought anyone that cared about me was being dramatic. I was so ignorant. But addiction lies to us. You know, I have a disease that tells me I don't have a disease, and it's like the most frustrating thing ever because it puts blinders on us. Like, it's like living in a fog, you know what I mean? And now finally that fog is gone and I can see clearly every single thing I did that was wrong. I can see those struggles and I can see who I was meant to be now, but it took a long time to get here. So just for sake of time, I'm gonna tell you about the last time that I detoxed. So this was in Arkansas. This was probably my easiest detox, but it was still really hard. I was detoxing off of Go Fast and Go Slow. I'm sorry, I can't tell you the words. But this was probably my easiest time. And when I say that, I mean like I didn't feel like my bones were breaking. I wasn't throwing up and I wasn't pooping, but I was like fiending. So that was the most intense feeling. And that's when I realized that I had an addiction to Go Fast, and I didn't think I did because I had only been using it for like 6 or 7 months. And when I went into that facility in Arkansas, I was 3 weeks pregnant and I didn't know. So I am so grateful I got arrested when I did, because that saved my daughter's life. And after a couple more weeks in the jail, I realized something's wrong. I must be pregnant. Now, if you guys have not seen the video I did with Christina Randall, I will leave that in the description box down below, detailing my pregnant in prison story. But man, it was the most horrifying experience ever. And that detox was horrible because I was fiending and I didn't have any kind of perspective on my baby's gonna be healthy because I was in the middle of it, right? Now, looking back, I'm like, oh, that was perfect timing. My daughter's life was saved. I'm so grateful. Like, I would literally hug the police officers that arrest me at this point because they saved my daughter's life and probably my life too. So I don't want you guys to hear my stories and think I hate law enforcement or think this or think that. I don't even hate correctional officers. I'll take it a step further. I don't even hate the correctional officers that were completely crappy to me, because I've moved on, my life is different, and I needed that time to be hard. I'm grateful for it, but I also think correctional officers need to treat inmates as human beings, but that's a whole other topic, right? So I'm gonna end today's video here. I hope you guys like this story and take something from it. I don't want addicts watching this video to feel shame or to feel like, because I did it this way, this is the only way. There are so many paths to sobriety, and just because I'm doing it on this path does not mean that your path needs to look like mine, right? So I love you guys so much. Stay safe, stay sober, and I will see you in my next video.